Okay, time to talk about the 2009 Best Animated Film Oscar nominees and winners. And the nominees were Up, Coraline, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Princess and the Frog, and The Secret of Kells. And the winner, Up. Now, in this case, I am in full agreement on this one. Up is a great film, and so I'm just going to agree with the nominations on this. I first saw Up in the theater, and I took my kids to it. We watched it in 3D, and it was an experience to watch. Let me just tell you that. There's something about just the great height and the great story of it, and the adventure of it is just awesome. I absolutely love this film, and I've watched it several times, and this is a Pixar film where you cry at the beginning, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I have to say that if there wasn't Up, Fantastic Mr. Fox would probably get it from me. Fantastic Mr. Fox is a, dare I say it, fantastic film. I absolutely adore this film, and I did not expect to love this film at all. I remember just sort of getting it from the library and just putting it in the DVD player on my laptop while I was doing other work, and I was absolutely enthralled by this film. Just the look of it. What was going on in the storyline, its quirky sense of humor. It's just so many goodness happening here. And I will say that if you haven't seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, you need to. And does it really work? I was actually just thinking about the ending the other day and how maybe the ending doesn't really go for me because I don't really feel like Mr. Fox really learned anything, but he is at least trying to be more of a good man. So, hey. Too bad Isle of Dogs didn't really work out, but I think I talked about that at a later time. So let's talk about Coraline. Now, again, this is another stop-motion animated film. I think this is Leica's first film, and it was a great film. This film does have a horror elements to it. I would definitely not recommend this for younger kids. It actually took me a while before I showed it to my kids. I remember when I watched it, I thought maybe the kids might like this one. I watched it and I went like, geez, this film goes there. I could not believe what I was watching, which I think is kind of awesome that this film really went in dark places on purpose, and that's great. I have not read the book that this is based on, but I was very satisfied with the long, spidery, blady villain at the end of this thing that I just thought, oh my gosh. Anyway, I just love this film for that. I mean, hey. So, Princess and the Frog, I would have to say, is a good movie, but I don't really think it's a great movie. I think there's some good things in this, and it's great that Disney went back to 2D animation once again. They definitely followed a different formula here. I like the fact that the Disney princess isn't just living in a castle. This Disney princess is a workaholic. That's something new. That's good that they kind of went that direction. The Frog Prince is one of those stories that honestly I don't even know the original version of it. I've just seen the fact that it seems to exist as a book in other movies, like say Shanghai Noon. Seeing this version of it was kind of interesting, especially its setting in I think 1920s Louisiana. Not bad. I like the setting on this. You could do more with this. I actually heard that they were actually going to do like a series based on this, but they pulled the plug on it, which is probably not a good thing. So The Secret of Kells, I never saw it. I'm told it was good. I actually think my daughter saw this one and recommended it to me, and I just don't know why I never just found a copy of this or found it on a streaming service. Maybe it exists somewhere. I really need to see this film. Sorry, I mean, there's probably going to be a lot of at me in the comments on this, and if so, I get it. So, what wasn't good was Planet 51. I saw this one, and this is back when Dwayne Johnson was sort of rising star, so I guess somebody thought, well, let's put him in their animated film. And interesting concept for a film that the alien is from Earth and goes to a planet, to the alien's planet. So it's sort of a reverse ET story. Actually, that's kind of interesting, really. But in the end, I don't really think it could work really well for it. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, I have seen this film. I don't really like this film. It feels like a film that I probably could like, but I'm not really certain. I'm just never really got into this film as far as what it was really trying to say. I felt like, what is the moral of this film? Like, we shouldn't eat so much or something like. I think that's kind of the biggest issue I have with this film is what is the major takeaway from this film? Believe it or not, it's from the Lord and Miller team, the guys that gave us like Into the Spider-Verse, the Lego movie. Yeah, that's them. I got to start somewhere. Anyway, so Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Did I see? I'm pretty sure I saw that, and obviously the Ice Age movies really go downhill after the first one. So, yeah. Anyway, so don't think of that deserves an Oscar nomination. So smart job. Oh, and The Christmas Carol came out that year. Or A Christmas Carol? Yeah, that one with Jim Carrey in it. Boy, that mocap thing never really worked, did it? Yeah, we're going to talk about mocap as we get to some of the other animated Oscar nominations. This one, yeah. You know a star is too big when they are playing multiple roles in a film, and they had Tom Hanks do that in that other film. What was it called? The Polar Express, and now they did this Christmas film. And I think I've said before that the holiday film usually doesn't get into the best animated Oscar list. For some reason, there are exceptions to that rule. So, Astro Boy, remember this film? I actually really like this film. I would have probably nominated for an Oscar. I actually think there's a lot of good stuff happening in this film. It's a fun, action-oriented film that they still make, and I'm glad when films like this come out. This is before the Marvel Cinematic Universe started to really hit, so we've been kind of choked with superheroes, so I'm not sure you could really make a film like this today without sort of feeling like that, but I like sort of the, I don't know much about Astro Boy, so this is probably a new take on this character who has been around since, I think, the 40s maybe, so who knows. Monsters vs. Aliens. I remember this film, and I remember liking this film. I remember thinking there's some good points in this film. This is a film that I felt like should have gone a bit deeper in its message, but kind of didn't. It kind of sacrificed theme for the sake of plot and action. Maybe that's good. Maybe that's what you should have done for a film like this. I don't know. I mean, this is a film about old school Hollywood monsters meeting aliens. Okay, so there was a film that targeted adults that didn't get nominated called Mary and Max. I've seen this film. It's a claymation film that's done very well about a relationship between a little girl and a guy who I believe has Asperger's or something like that. And I think they have a pen pal type relationship between them. It's rather interesting, and you should see that. That deserved a nomination, honestly. But hey, there were a lot of good choices. I mean, there were a lot of good, 2009 was a good year for animation. What can I say? Anyway, join us next time. We talk about 2008 in the best animated film and nominees and winner.